welcome to my channel. Today's video format is going to be a little different than my usual videos. Usually I show you a card and then I show you the materials and step through the steps. In this case, I wanted to show you the paper. This is the star of the video. I got these two papers at Urban Scrapbookers in Edmonds, Washington. It was on the clearance rack, but it was flying out the door. Everyone was really excited about these two papers. And I saw it and I thought that is perfect for mass producing a card. So I'm going to make Mother's Day cards with this paper here, and I'm going to do more cards with this one, but at a later date. Each piece of paper is going to make 24 cards. It's hard to believe, but it's true. And there's wonderful colors here, and I can't wait to show you. So let me move this out of the way and step through. This video will be a little longer because I'm going to be making so many cards, but stick with me, it'll be so worth it. Now, cutting straight is not my strong point, so I had to get my husband to help me do this. When I say help, I mean do the cutting for me. So I had two sheets and I cut each, and he cut all of the papers along the different motifs, and I sorted them according to the pattern. So I wanted to show you how to do this. So you cut into strips and then cut the strips and you will get 24 pieces. Okay, I'm going to go through this step by step so that no one gets confused, and I'm sorry if it's going slowly, but I wanted to be sure that I was very clear about how this is done. Okay, now this is an example of one of the cutouts, and what I did was go through and using plain copy paper, and I made a prototype up of how I wanted the card to look. And this is just plain paper, and I didn't want to waste a lot of materials, so I just took some paint, dye, and just went along the edges to make it a little bit colored so I could see what I'm doing. Okay, so this is the layout I'm going to do. Move that over, and this is the final card, and let me move this closer so that you can see how it ended up looking. I added a little bit of flourish here. This is just a general guideline for me, and this is the finished product with a little bit more embellishments, but you can still see that it's very similar. So I'm going to go through for each of the card layouts, and I'm going to show you the layout, show you the materials that I'm going to be using, and then we'll just start in with showing you how to create the card. The steps are going to be very similar to each card, so I'm going to take a little time and show you the steps slowly in the first card, and then I'll mostly speed up the rest and stop when it's appropriate to show you something special for that card. Okay, this will be fun. Let's get started. All right, I'm going to use several stamp sets. I have this large Sentiments stamp set by Fiskars, Stampin Up Bloom with Hope, Spellbinders A2 Matting Basics A, Stampin Up Something to Celebrate, and I'm also going to be using the Stampin Up A Mother's Love stamp set. I have two stamps from that set. The Stampin' Up Bird Builder Punch, and some pearls and rhinestones. And if I think of something else that is going to be unique to a specific card, I'll bring that in and show you as I go. Oh, I also need some finger daubers. For this design, I need to use the outer mat to get the mat for the inner panel and also these leaves. And this is going to be consistent for most of the cards. I'll have to do this. So I probably won't show it every time. So in order to do that, I'm taking this rectangle and I'm going to cut out a rectangle here. Now when you're using the mat for extra cutting out, you have to be sure that you stay within the area which will be covered by the outer panel. And okay, I think that's good. Bring in my top panel, And I'm going to cut this 2 times. Let me actually move this over just a little bit, because I need to get 2 of these for this card. And you'll see why in a second. Okay, don't throw this away, it's needed. So let me move this out of the way. Now I'm going to quickly stamp a small greeting right here because there's space. I won't be able to do this for all of them because of the design. So this is something that may change for each one. And this says, "It's your day." Okay. Now, let this dry a bit. I'm going to take this down to that square, rectangle. Come here. Now this rectangle is just a little bit larger than this panel. So I'm going to have to trim it, after I get it straight of course, with my paper trimmer. Okay, I'll trim that in a second. And for this square rectangle, I need to get two of the branches out. So I'll just lean in to make sure I can see what I'm doing. And there's one. And here's the second one this way. Okay. While I have that punch out, I'm going to punch the bird and his wing. There we go. Okay, let me do some quick cleanup right here. Now I'm going to take my finger dauber and I'm going to put a little bit of color on the bird to make it a little bit more interesting. So this is broken china. So I'm just going to go all the way around. Give him a little bit extra on his tummy. And a little bit more on his tail. And the same thing for the wing. Be sure you have the wing going in the right direction before you do this, because this is not correct that way. It has to go this way. This bird builder punch, there's several stamp sets that go with it, and they are lined up. Let me bring that back here. They are lined up usually on the stamp in a way that you could just stamp it right down and immediately punch it in just this way. I have one of them. I have two, actually. I have two. But I didn't need that for this design. So I'm also going to take a little bit of the frayed burlap and give him just a little bit of color on his nose. Just a little bit. Okay. And now that I have that done, I'm going to pop the wing up a little bit using these foam squares. Just make sure that the foam doesn't show. That's good. And decide whether you want the wing to go up or down. And I want it to go a little bit up, as if he's flying. More like a hummingbird, I guess. There we go. Okay, the rest is just putting everything together. Oh, I have a few jagged edges on this black strip, so I have this is a filing buffer thing that I got when I got my mani-pedi, and they let me keep it. So you just go along the edge and get that jagged edge right off, and it neatens up the edge a little bit. Very quick. Okay, now, here we go. And that's layout 1, the final card. There were 5 panels of the same type of picture on the paper, so I was able to get 5 matching cards with this layout. Please stay tuned for the slideshow of all 24 cards that I was able to create. Please click the links below to watch me create all the other card layouts, and thanks for watching, and please remember to hit that subscribe button. Take care.